This is my AND circuit. I have my 9-volt battery here. When I connect it, I won't actually be using all the 9 volts. I connected this 5 volt to the red line and this longer black jumper cable to the ground level on the blue line, which is negative. And I put the resistor connecting to the 5 volt, starting the circuit, and here are the 2 transistors and the LED light. Currently, without the switches, the LED light is off, and in place of the switches, I will be using the smallest jumper cables I have. I don't have any smaller, but it'll do. So putting on one of the switches, the light doesn't turn on. And then putting on one of the other switches, the light still doesn't turn on. But when I put on both switches, the light turns on. And that's how an AND circuit works. Okay, so this is my OR gate circuit. It's the same as before with the 9-volt battery and it being connected to the 5 volt and the ground, the longer one being ground, the longer jumper cable being ground. And the difference between this one and the last one, well, first I spread the transmitters out further and they're in parallel instead of in a series. The AND gate had them in a series and now they're in parallel. And I also added this jumper cable to the circuit. I didn't need to, but the LED light wouldn't have reached, so I just added it. So if I turn it on, if I put in the battery, the LED light doesn't turn on. But if I put in one of the switches, it turns on. Then if I put in another switch, again, these jumper cables are the shortest ones I have, but it'll do. And when I put on that switch, it turns on. And then when I put in both switches, it stays turned on, right? So if I unplug it, it's still there. If I replug it, now both switches work to turn the LED light. This is my NOT gate circuit. Now we only have one transistor, and that's because for a NOT gate circuit, there's only one switch, or in this case, a small jumper wire. Yep, we still have the 9 volts, and it's still connected. The short jumper wire is still connected to the 5 volt, and the long one is the ground. We have the resistor where it was before. Now putting it on, the light turns on. So for a NOT circuit gate, when you put on the switch, the light should turn off. So let's put on the switch, and it turned off.